Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, we come to this program, Share with me, Pak Idris. The world is now experiencing a new phenomenon, which is the advancement of technology in the area of solar energy. Here in Malaysia, we have abundance of sunshine all year round. And the question is, why not take advantage of this source of energy, which is clean, low cost, and it has great potential. This source of energy can resolve a lot of problems of the world, including what is happening in Malaysia. For example, non-renewable fuel as well as pollution. Here with me in this program is a young entrepreneurial person, and can I have your name please, sir?
Yeah, my name is Noor Shahiwan bin Ismail. I am from Solarji Sdn Bhd. We are a technology startup from local university, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, and we are commercializing solar energy system in terms of the electronics of the solar energy system.
Can we start with defining what is solar energy?
Okay, basically solar energy, we have two types of solar energy being utilized until this day. First is from solar to thermal, which been ages, from we have solar water heater, solar drying, and especially from we are converting sunlight to heat. And then the second type, you have photovoltaic. Photo means light, voltaic mean voltage, which is electricity. So we are converting from light to electricity. That is our expertise in from light to electricity.
How does it work?
Okay, we have one harvest component. First, we receive the sunlight. Then the sunlight will excite the electron.
Which is from the panel?
Yeah, which is on the panel. We excite the electron, and then the electron will be accumulated in one way. Then we will have electricity.
What do you have at the panel?
Yes.
What material do you have there?
They're using most of the components. Sorry, most of the material being used is silicon. Yeah.
Then when you harvest from the sun the energy, you have to transmit it to another component. What is that?
Basically, in solar energy system, you have three main parts. First is solar panel. Second is the solar charge controller to regulate the power. The third one is the storage, which is the battery. So when we harvest from solar, we will store in the battery.
How do you operate all these things?
Solar energy system, it is best, to operate where sunlight is available. But then, even we can see the top user in the world right now is Germany. So they don't have much sunlight as Malaysia, but they are the top user. So basically, even when you have 1 to 2 hours sunlight per day, it is still possible for you to use solar energy system effectively.
Why it is necessary to have storage? Is it because we have long night, and then you have to store it, and then you can use it in the night?
Yeah, we have two reasons why we need battery. First reason, because solar energy from sunlight is not constant. So sometimes you got very good sunlight, sometimes you got cloudy. Then you must regulate and then store in battery. The second reason, you need the battery for night usage, because we don't have sunlight at night, so you need the storage to use it.
Today, do you agree that cars are using solar energy, aeroplane using solar energy, shipping, they are using wind and solar energy at the same time, boats are using solar energy, a lot of users in solar energy. How you look at the future in solar energy, in our country especially?
My personal opinion, I think solar is no longer future technology. It is a current technology. The future is now.
The future is now.
Yeah, the future is now. So, regardless the application, I see the gap that significantly affecting this industry is in terms of the applications. We have the solar panel, we have the component, but we also have the demand. But to bridge this gap, we need someone to innovate the application. So that's what missing from the whole equation.
What are some of the opposition that you see that's happening in this industry? People reluctant to use solar energy.
I must say, solar energy industry is quite tarnished by bad reputation, because we have feedbacks saying that solar energy doesn't work, solar energy is too expensive. The main thing regarding this solar energy, I think it depends on the installer or the solar system integrator. They must configure the correct system for the requirement of the user. They must also allocate standby backup power. Let's say we have rain, haze or cloudy days. So I think it most probably depend on the installer.
So what do you think? Do you need to educate more people about solar energy? The benefit of solar energy?
Yes.
The average people should know. Young children should know.
Yes.
Students should know that this is something that they can benefit.
Yep. It's true, but it's one of our main activities, education awareness. We spend a lot on education awareness. We went to schools, university, college, just to give the idea what solar energy is all about. And most importantly is that solar energy can be used, can be innovated in their daily applications. That's the main thing. We don't want them to see solar energy is a very advanced, very expensive, just for solar farm, just for interest base. Actually, it's as little as charging your phone. You can use solar energy. Yeah.
What about the situation among our young people? Is it very encouraging to see them learning about solar energy, the training that you are giving them, the participation that they are doing with you?
I have to say they are very much interested. Yet we are still, including us, we are still pampered by stable electricity, reasonable tariff electricity. That's why we don't have the necessity, to convert towards solar energy system. But then, in terms of their interest, no doubt they are very interested in solar energy system.
If a person comes to you and say, I want to have solar energy, how do you first start?
Okay. First, we will start by listing all applications that he needs. This solar energy system is actually, you must start with energy efficiency method. We need to identify whether we can reduce or not their usage. We cannot simply just put solar energy system, or else the system will be too big or too expensive. Then they will say solar is not viable option for them. That's why we must start with energy efficiency. We will list down all the applications, which one we can reduce, which one we can replace, and which one can be powered by solar. That's how we're going to do it. And then we give them guarantee by hours. Let's say they have 5 lights, 2 fans. We tell them 1 light can last for 5 hours, 6 hours. This fan can last for 12 hours. So it's understandable. It is both mutual understood term can be used. We can use kilowatt hour, kilowatt peak, ampere hour. But then if the customer do not understand what the term is all about, then it's no use.
In our country, we have a very wide rural area. Can you explain to the rural people how you can benefit using solar energy?
Okay. Let me define rural people in Malaysia. The one that is not connected to the electricity, most of them are too far from the grid, and also they live not in one place. It means they move. After a certain period, they move. So by having solar, actually they can use it even if they move to another place, they still can bring all the solar energy system and put in the new place. And then they don't have to rely on fuel supply, which for them is a big matter in terms of logistic. They need to buy the petrol or diesel to bring back to their place, and then the cost of the diesel petrol sell by middlemen is very high and expensive.
How do you communicate with rural people? Do you speak in their language? Do you speak technical language? Or you keep on having continuous communication so that the people got some kind of a guidance, so that they don't implement something and then it ends there because they don't really appreciate?
Yes. Good question, Pak Idris. We have, I think, 3 years experience approaching this target we call bottom of pyramid. At first we thought it was technology. Technology must be very sophisticated, must be advanced. But then it's more on social approach. First we need to understand their needs. We cannot just go there and put one solar system without asking them what they need. So that's how we improve. We approach them, say, do you need this light? How many fan? How many lights? And then one of the feedback, they said they need a refrigerator for babies' milk and also for meat. That's how we approach them. It's more on social.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to this program with a vague idea about solar energy. Now we know that technology is important, but trying to communicate with the people so that they can appreciate the technology and use it for their benefit with the proper guidance, that is more important just as well.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we have a break for a short while?
Saya ni Aida dalam One News.
Hello, Nadim Dwaran and you're watching The Global View.
Saya Rashid Abdul Rahim dalam rentas benua. 7 orang terbunuh dan
RM5.2 bilion. Itu adalah peruntukan yang disediakan oleh kerajaan dalam bajet 2014 yang telah dibentangkan oleh Perdana Menteri pada 25 Oktober lepas kepada Kementerian Pengaturan.
Jarak cabaran 60 km memberi cabaran kepada penggemar sukan lasak ini. Walaupun perjalanan kali ini hanya dapat dihabiskan dalam 40 km kerana faktor cuaca.
Boom! Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera kepada anda semua yang masih lagi setia bersama saya Bubu hanya di Spotlight untuk berita hiburan anda.
Hidangan barat bersaiz besar menjadi tarikan.
Weekend ni kita sendiri tahu pinggan besar, makanan dia pun banyak makanan dia.
Saya Khairul Anwar bin Sulaiman. Saya tinggal di Gombak, Batu Empat Gombak, Kuala Lumpur.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bertemu kembali dalam episod kedua di Sebalik Islam.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the next section of this program, which is we are trying to learn from the company Suncrox. How do you get this name, Suncrox?
Okay, actually Suncrox, we have two parts in Suncrox. Sun is sunlight. Then we have crocs from crocodile. So we took this name due to the logic of crocodiles expose themselves.
So you're basking in the sun.
Yes.
And they are taking the sun energy.
And also to regulate their cold-blooded temperature. So from there we ask ourselves, if crocodiles can utilize sunlight, why not us as a human? After all, sunlight is free.
So we must learn from the crocodile.
Yes, we must learn from crocodile.
That's why learning from nature is something very important.
Yep.
To get to the bottom of it, it's God who's teaching us.
Yeah. In fact, if you see the upper body of the crocodile, you can see it actually reflects the shape of a solar panel. To increase their surface area exposed to the sunlight.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So that's where we got the name. Yeah.
Suncrox.
Suncrox.
What kind of activities Suncrox has been pursuing and providing?
Right. First, we all start with solar charge controller, which is the electronic part of the solar energy system. Then we figure out that we want to sell it as a complete system, as a solution. We don't want to sell as a component. So that's where I can say our main activity is to innovate the application. We have to see the market demand, where the market needs. Then we have to innovate the solar energy system to be suitable, to be user-friendly for user to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a saying that you can harvest as much, so much, but it will all be a waste if you do not know how to store it
Yep.
and distribute it.
Yes.
Can you
and
explain?
utilize it. From solar energy system, we know from our experience, on very good day we can have this amount of power. So from that kind of power, we need to utilize and allocate the power to the user requirement or application. So we also must allocate them as a support power. Let's say if the sunlight is not all day long, then that's how we utilize the sunlight towards energy.
You have been to so many countries around the world, perhaps very close to our country, which is ASEAN.
Yeah, ASEAN.
Can you explain where you have been?
Okay. We are focusing on ASEAN market because in Malaysia we found that we have to create the market. Our electrification rate is 95% and above, so the pain is not there. But then if you look for broader perspective in ASEAN, we also have Suncrox Solar Myanmar. In Myanmar, their electrification rate is only 40%. Out of 40 million, 50 million people, only 40%. So you can see how the requirement, the needs for energy.
Yeah, when I was in Myanmar and India, sometimes the electricity shut down.
Yes.
And you have to wait for 2 hours.
Yes.
Can you explain how they can benefit from solar energy?
In these countries, it is a common sight. You can see very big generator in front of the shop lot, in front of the hotel, in front of the building. So when we went there, our target is more on rural, in residential area, where some of the cases, just to charge their handphone alone, they have to go to nearby town or nearby village just to charge their phone. So you can see here is a very big gap, and we can do it with maximum impact. That's our main concern. We also quite emphasize on social impact of our products. So that's where we can see the demand is there.
India, for example, has gone very big in terms of solar energy. They have made a big ship and use solar energy, and they are traveling all over the world. Airplane recently has been using solar energy, and they give a test so that they can cross the Atlantic Ocean and go to Africa and the rest. Some advanced countries, they take solar energy for granted, so they become laggard, people who are slow in solar energy. What about our country?
Our country, I can say we are the third largest producer of solar panel in the world.
Good to know.
Yes, third largest producer, but then we are not near top 10 user in the world. But I can say our government initiative is quite encouraging in terms of solar energy.
The government have been working very hard.
Yeah, where we introduce feed-in tariff and such. But I do believe that
there's a great potential.
Yeah, great potential. But the low-hanging fruit is actually in Malaysia is the one who use generator, genset. We need to replace the genset application with solar energy system.
Can you explain why we need to replace the genset? Is it because it lasts shorter lifespan, something like that?
Our first target when generator user is operation cost. Let's say for night market alone, if we replace with solar energy system for their genset, we can save 100 to 150 ringgit per month. Okay, that will be the first one, our main target, operation cost. The second reason is the emission. 1 liter of petrol burning can produce 2.5 kilogram of carbon emission. On a single night market alone in Kuala Lumpur, we can produce almost a quarter ton of carbon emission just one night.
What about the noise?
The noise, the smell. then
The pollution.
Yeah, pollution, and also the risk, explosion risk. We have few cases where generator genset exploded.
So it's very important that we encourage more and more people, especially the low-income earners who want to do some small businesses, to go and convert their source of energy from something which is risky to something which is safe, clean, and cost-effective.
Yes, I said, but first thing we need to let them know that we are there.
You have to educate them.
Yeah, we have to educate. The awareness must be there, and also you must assist them, to convert from conventional power to alternative renewable energy. So I think the solution is there. It's a matter of time for us to find them and to make them understand why we need to convert.
For example, a small village with 500 people, is it the best alternative to use solar energy?
Yeah, depending on the location and demographic or topography of the place, where grid option might be so expensive. Maybe you have to go through mountains, rivers. So solar energy is the best solution and very quick as well. So we can utilize straight away. As example, we have a recent big flood in East Coast. They can build the house, but then it takes time to connect the grid to the house. So solar energy system is the best option.
Should you say that you should work hand in hand with the people involved in rural development?
Yes.
And support each other so that people get faster benefit from getting better energy source.
Yeah, but this, the solar energy must be in picture in the beginning of the planning. If the house already constructed with AC, alternate current, is with application for grid, but then if you want to convert to solar, then you have to do retrofit cost, second incur cost. That's why we need to involve in the very beginning stage where we can plan and how to use it solar energy effectively.
How do you find the local rural people? Did they have any kind of misunderstanding of the use of solar energy? What have been your experience?
First, when we approach them, when we tell them about solar energy system, they really say, solar energy again. We have experience. We have bad experience. Solar energy is not good. That's their feedback to us. Then when we studied, the main thing that we don't understand, we do not cater their needs, their critical needs of what they want. That's why they also take for granted. Most of the solar energy system are subsidized or given under certain initiative. So that's where we need to change that perception.
We have seen a lot of our students in the university participating in the development and use of solar energy, especially the car race using solar energy. Can you explain, do you need to have a bigger panel on top of the cars, on top of the plane, for example, or you can have a better size that can fit, so that it is not so heavy and it is very conducive to use solar energy?
I think in terms of quantity of the solar panel, we are quite limited by the roof space. So the thing that we can further develop is, I think, the motor for the car or vehicle. So the motor must be efficient, must be light enough to run, powered by solar. Of course, we also need to consider the weight of the power storage.
I think this problem has been resolved by some companies who are producing new types of cars using solar energy, because they have invented some additional accessories which can last longer, and you don't have to recharge too frequently on this method, and they have reduced the size just as well. Are you having some kind of a cooperation with people who are in this kind of business? Not yet.
Not yet. We involved with innovation projects, schools and also university. But like I said, our target market is more on bottom of pyramid. It's very basic application, as simple as light.
So someone out there want to contact and get hold of this technology. How should they start? From which position? How do they get involved if they want to be an entrepreneur just like you?
First, they must identify their market needs, whether they want to do off-grid or on-grid, grid-connected. I think the market demand now is towards grid-connected, but then on the other perspective, there are no less player in off-grid, because in the world itself, we have 1.5 billion people are not connected to stable electricity. So I think the number itself shows how critical is this. Critical, and also it's an opportunity for newcomers.
Do you need a lot of capital to be a businessman or an entrepreneur in this sector?
I must say that the initial capital is quite high compared to conventional business. But then it can be compensated by projects.
It's long term?
Yes, long term. When you configure a project and then sending a proposal and then receiving the deposit and whatnot, that's how you minimize your initial capital.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to this position where we should take advantage of the new technology, solar energy. Solar energy is a solution. It settles so many things, such as, very important, pollution. The world suffers from pollution, and we cannot recover a lot of damages through so many industries that has caused depletion of resources. Solar energy can help because it has been proven to be beneficial and true to the small people just as well as to big industries. The nation should really look into this, and we must say congratulations to Malaysia, which has taken an early start into taking advantage of this latest, which is solar energy. May I thank you. May God bless you.